Hi everyone, welcome to Queen Bee Healing, aka Queen's Bee Healing, and I am here with a message. So, if you saw the video title, we are here to talk about forgiveness and also love, and really the thin line that connects them together. So, in order to really move forward, in order to have any type of mental and emotional progression, there has to be some form of forgiveness. Whether you're forgiving someone who wronged you or you're forgiving yourself for allowing someone to wrong you, which usually sometimes we have to do both. It's not easy, especially when someone really betrayed you. Like, I feel like I'm speaking to someone who has dealt with, you know, violations such as like sexual assault, sexual abuse, um, someone who's really dealt with heavy stuff, some of verbal abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse from someone they trusted or someone they should have been able to trust or someone who just nobody has the right to violate anyone, period, anyway. However, I feel like this message is really dedicated to someone who is just struggling to let go of that burden and is just really struggling to move forward. And the key to moving forward is really the art of forgiveness. And even in conflict resolution, we've usually put the focus of conflict resolution onto the art of compromising. However, the real essence of conflict resolution is really forgiveness. And the key component needed in order to forgive anyone, whether it is someone else or yourself, is love. More specifically, self love. So, in order to really understand how holding on to a burden of a grudge or holding on to something that is hurtful or painful, in order to really let that go, you have to really tap into your self-worth, tap into your self-love, because once you realize this does not serve me and this does not define me, it's time to let it go. You're going to struggle to let it go. And I know it's easier said than done. I know that a lot of us are really fighting some hard demons. I know a lot of us are really battling things that were selfishly put onto us because of someone else's selfishness. And that's not easy. It's not easy to heal what someone else has done to you. It's one thing to go around planting horrible seeds and then you get your harvest back. You know what they say, you make your bed and then you lie in it. It's one thing to cause trouble and then you eat the karma. And then you have a moment you're like, okay, I deserve this. This is my payback. This is what I am. This is my lesson. But to move on, to move forward from something that someone else arbitrarily just did to you with no rhyme, no reason, something that's not justified, something that you didn't deserve, that's hard. It's not easy. It's not an easy pill to swallow. But I want to let you know that you are worthy of forgiveness. You deserve to forgive yourself, and you deserve to forgive that person, whether or not that person deserves it or not. You deserve to release those burdens. You do not have to carry that load anymore. It is your time to release it. It's your time to let it go. It's your time to love yourself. The essence of loving yourself is learning when to let go of things that no longer serve you. And those horrible, horrific, traumatic incidents that happen to you, they don't define you. They're not who you are. It's what happened to you. It is what you had to go through. It is part of your journey, but it's not you. And you don't deserve to continue to carry that load. So when it comes to forgiveness, the art of forgiveness is really the art of loving yourself and accepting yourself. And once you tap into yourself, once you start to really get to know yourself, really connect with yourself, really spend time with yourself, and you truly realize who you are as a person, you will know what defines you, what doesn't define you, and then the forgiveness can start. And once the forgiveness start, that burden is just released. It's like a dump truck. You're just riding around with a dump truck full of shit. And it's time for you to stop. Take a moment to stop. That's why if you watch any of my previous videos, when I always talk about how powerful it is to go into isolation, stop the truck, have a moment, have your moments. And I'm not saying it's going to happen in one day, a month, a week. It may take you some time. This is not a timed event, a time progress. Everybody works at their own pace. Everyone has their own journey, their own battle, okay? But you have to stop, and you can no longer suppress it. You have to stop, reflect, learn to love yourself, get to know yourself, heal yourself, spend time with yourself, become yourself, become your own best friend. Then you're going to really love yourself. And then you can release that burden. You can take that dump truck and release the contents inside of it. Let it go. And it's not forgiveness. It's not for that person. It's not for their benefit. It is not to save them. It is not to help them deal with their battles, their karma. Forgiveness is strictly for you. It is strictly for your well-being, your healing, your progress, your elevation. It is something that you need to do so that you can move forward, so that you can become the best version of yourself. It's like this is saying, it's like a meme, and it says a plane cannot take off when it's heavy. Like if the plane just has too much shit on it, you can't take off. Like you're literally stuck on the runway. It's time to release that stuff so that you can take off and go where you need to go. You can't go certain places carrying all that baggage. And if it reflects, it comes out in different ways. When you don't heal, it comes out in relationships, and you wonder why every relationship is the same pattern, the same saga. It comes out in jobs, comes out in your work ethic. You're wondering why every time you get a job, you always get fired. You never get along with the people. You never get promoted. You always get overlooked. It becomes a cycle. It comes out, it spills out in other areas of your life. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're always depressed, you're always sad, you're always in a bad mood. It spills out in other areas, and it hinders you, it stops you, it blocks you, it prevents your progress. And that's not serving you. That's not what you're here to do. I know that some of us, I mentioned before, have dealt with some real shit. I know some of us have been in relationships. We've trusted partners that have betrayed us to the max. We have had parents, step-parents, family members, all sorts of horrible stuff happen where people we were supposed to be able to look up to trust, to have our backs, did the exact opposite. And now you're trying to walk around and figure out how to move forward from that. It's not easy. I know. I can imagine. I can only imagine. But there's a thin line between forgiveness and love. And the art of forgiveness starts with loving yourself, learning to know yourself, becoming one with yourself. Because once you are into yourself, once you become your best friend, once you start to really realize who you are as a person, as a woman, as a man, I know maybe some men watching this, then you know what you deserve. And you will say, you know what, I don't deserve to carry this load anymore. I didn't deserve for that to happen to me, but it did. I have to learn how to let it go. And the true way to let it go is to love yourself. This just the way it is. I made some notes here. I'll make sure I covered everything before I end this video. Yeah, so to forgive yourself, it means that you love yourself more than the hurt that you're forgiving. So when you can't let it go, it means that that pain that you're holding on to outweighs how much you love yourself. And loving yourself, loving yourself is not looking in the mirror and saying, ooh, I look good. Loving yourself is absent from your physical appearance. Loving yourself is your spirit, is loving who you are internally. If we were to just automatically lose our sight, lose our vision, and nobody could see nobody, no one knew what no one looked like, how they dressed, what they wore, that means you have to love what people will see or hear. Or, yeah, hear or feel, not see. So loving yourself goes beyond your physical appearance, because you ever seen a beautiful woman and you can tell that she is just broken. You can tell that she is just hurt beyond hurt. It has nothing to do with how good you look on the outside, sis. It has everything to do with how good you are on the inside. Excuse me, or how good you feel on the inside. So, in order for forgiveness to commence, for it to start, it has to, your love for yourself has to be higher, has to outweigh the pain that you're holding on to. So, my advice to you, I'm going to say this a million times: isolation mode. Go within. And the only way that you can go within is by yourself. Of course, you can have a therapist. Of course, there's support groups. There's other supplemental outlets that can help you. And I encourage that you seek those out too. But the real essence of it is really being at one with yourself, learning who you are. Because if someone would say, "Who are you?" Define yourself. Tell me who you are. And you're not allowed to use your occupation. You're not allowed to use your gender. You're not allowed to use your race. How would you define yourself? Who are you? What makes you you? If you don't know the answer to that, then that really means you need to spend some time with yourself. So I'm going to leave this here. I hope that everyone has a great week. And just remember, you do not deserve to hold on to that pain. It doesn't serve you. And whatever happened to you, whatever is you're struggling to let go of, whatever forgiveness you need to start working on, whatever healing you have to do, whatever happened to you, just know that it doesn't define you. It is not what makes you. You may be a survivor of that. That may define you, but the actual thing, it doesn't define you. It's not who you are. You're much bigger than that. You're much better than that. And really learn to love yourself so that you can start to forgive, let go, and move forward. Doesn't mean that you're going to forget it. It's always going to be, you're not going to forget it. But you're going to learn how to cope with what happened in the more healthy way, so that you're able to move forward and do what you have to do to elevate and become the best version of yourself. So I'm going to leave that here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.